Hello, Armchair Warriors. This is Tom here, playing another episode of my Japanese campaign, Hearts of Iron 3, using the Black Ice modification 11.3.4. Picking up where we kind of left off here. Um, just to kind of narrate to, we are looking about 2 more days of our IC debt remaining before we go back to full industrial status here, which kind of good and bad. I mean, good that we need all the IC back. Bad is that we're even with that 60%, we're still going down in our resources. So once that 60% comes off there, we're going to be seeing even more resources going towards our industry. That also is not terribly bad because really, at the rate that we're going at currently here, it's going to take me 1,000 days, a good 3 years before we run out of rare materials. That, of course, will accelerate once we get all our IC back. Metal, uh, about 300, 450 days roughly, so a year and a half before we run out of metal, and roughly the same for our energy. Again, not a big deal, all in all, but something to still look for. One of the things I forgot to even add on here, I am we're in 1941 right now, so we already made the laws change and stuff like that last previous episode, so we're cranking out tons of IC, but we also need to throw in some convoys and escorts. We're a seafaring nation. Here's our home country. Everybody else, for all the other major countries, I guess you could say, they're landlocked for the most part. Well, okay, the UK, they're definitely a nation faring, a sea faring nation as well, just like Japan. So I need to make sure that I've got plenty of convoys and escorts to prepare for the coming war here. The Americans, of course, and the Allies for that matter, once things go to pot here, they're going to be gunning for my convoys and my escorts left and right. So I need to make sure that we've got enough to help out here. All right, that'll do for right now. We'll need more later on. It's been about a week or so since I last played here, so I apologize. I spent a little bit of time on kind of catching up on what we're doing with the game and stuff like that. Current access members, you can see nothing out of the ordinary here in about another 6 or yeah, maybe 7 months, 6, 7 months. We'll see Finland in here as well. We'll that'll fire off another series of strategic events that will help us as Japan. But yeah, you can see it's just a standard gang here. Allies, they've grown quite a bit. Quite a few, but quite a few of them, I should say, are conquered. Well, Belgium still has plenty of territories, Netherlands as well, just because they've got Southeast Asia and African assets. But a vast majority, or a good number of these, are all conquered here by the Axis. Mostly Germany in one form or another. Russia, yeah, Comintern's just a few countries. I think that's all it'll stay for a while here, even after Germany declares. Nothing much we need to do here. This declare war in Xinjiang. We are still maintaining our war further west. Here we go. Maintaining a war in Tibet. We're looking at getting our troops set up here. We gotta wait a few days here before they're gonna be ready. I don't know if I was gonna attack in here or not. I don't think so, honestly. Uh, yeah, I don't think I was gonna send my cav here to attack. I think basically all I was doing is just making sure that I took this province, so that way I can attack the capital from 2 different provinces. I have enough manpower, enough divisions to be attacking that I think I need two province area, so I can get a little bit more combat with going on. I think this just was happenstance. I just simply took back a province and then kept going, kind of type deal. And they fled, as you can see, a couple of militia. They just simply fled. It was like, all right, well, we'll let things do. But Xinjiang is going to be next on the chopping block here. I think this just simply happens, yeah, because it's neighboring the Republic of China, Nanjing, which is this big country here. Once we get Tibet, it'll all be absorbed into China, Nanjing, and same thing with Xinjiang as well. Will be absorbed for even further. We just have the coastline of China. That's honestly all I need. I want to even worry about. We have been pulling our units out of here. Why are you running all the way over here? There's some funky moves going on here. I gotta take a look at it and see what's happening. In fact, you know what? Okay, that's cool. I gotta take a look and see. I think I was doing some testing off screen, off camera here, where I was like letting the AI control some aspects just to see kind of what happened and whatnot. Oh, you know what? We need to just throw a regular leader on here. Doesn't really matter who. Well, I'll still do it anyway. It honestly doesn't matter with leaders. I'm going to redo the leaders pretty soon anyway. Or pretty soon anyway. Probably around May, June, July, or whatever. Because I've got some leaders that just have. Well, here. Can we? Oh, let me do somebody here. There we go. I've got some leaders that just got a whole bunch of stats that is I need to put them in positions, higher positions than where they were currently at, or whatever the case might be. In any event, what I was saying is why are all my militia just like taking off? I think the AI was having a field day with my troops while I had them. I simply had them on AI control just so that way they could, I could kind of see what all transpires with doing that. If I could effectively set up AI. Why are you going all the way up there? Insane. Let's double check on this here. I apologize. I should be doing this off camera in all honesty. But since you got me here, let's just do that. He's pulling off all the, well, except for him. This is all SNLF. Oh, that's the 24th. That's all SNLF. We'll move them down that way. And then we got the 24th, and this guy will come up here. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my troop movement here. Oh, that's like planes moving and stuff. Well, whatever's. I'll deal with the planes momentarily. All the torpedo boats took off? Wow. Okay, apparently I was doing some testing that kind of went haywire. I don't know why everything is doing what it's doing here. But we are definitely going to be putting a stop to it all. Wow. So I guess moral of the story here is don't let the computer run. Well, don't let the computer run your army. Jeez. Looks like they like split apart all my destroyers too. I'm noticing that. Things are like way too weird looking. But oh well, we'll get back to that here momentarily. So that was diplomacy. Also the introduction, we need to disable that for another year. Get to it if I need to. Oh, that's right. I wanted to check paratrooper type units. I think I did that last episode, or maybe I just did it off camera. And it is elite light infantry. It is not specialized light infantry. That said, however, I'm going to, or at least that's what it says in what units are air droppable. There's like a long list. Anything that says, airborne, whatever, of course, is air droppable. But then you have got paratroopers and the air landing infantry. Those are, of course, all air droppable. Um, there's headquarter units, but transports, a bunch of different things that you can that are able to be airdropped. But when it comes to the light infantry, it doesn't say specialized. It just says elite light infantry. Commandos, by the way, is another thing you can airdrop. Anyway, I'm still going to see if that falls on the line of can I get that airdropped. Um, did I? Oh, that's motorcycle recon. Okay, yeah, motorcycle recon can be airdropped as well. So that I'm throwing a motorcycle recon and the airborne engineer regiments, building those to help strengthen my paratroopers. If I can't use a specialized light infantry, that's okay. I'll peel them off, and then I got those two other brigades to throw on there. They'll be kind of low strength. I mean, 6,000 men roughly. Um, what is it again for mobile recon? Airborne engineers are 800. Motorcycle recons 800. So 1,600 extra troops. Um, 66, 6,700, so just under 7,000 troops will be airdropped. So kind of a weak airborne unit, but nonetheless, that's what it is. We'll have to deal with it. Um, why is it still? Oh, that's the air unit. That's right. And those, of course, they're going where they need to go at this point. They're going back. Wow. Oh my. Well, we'll let the air just kind of go where they need to go. Production wise, so May is a bit, well, actually now it looks like this kind of sped up. I think that was May 4th. Maybe I'm thinking about the tech. May 19th is the two-engine transport. So May 19th is a big turning point or a big decision point when it comes to my airborne, and I'm really stressing out more on that than I should be. But once these two brigades, two type brigades are built, I'm going to throw them onto my paratrooper units and just see what their total airlift numbers are. How many I need. So that way, when in May 19th, when I get two-engine transport researched, I can then, because the main reason is this is including an extra 60 kilometers of range. Currently, my transport planes have a range of 650, so that'll get me up to 710. Um, that I could probably throw this unit into the upgrade queue just to make sure it gets that additional 50 kilometer range. It should be done pretty quickly. I think overall the transport planes don't take that long, 73 days, so just under 6 months. This is May 19th, so June, July, August, September, October, November 19th. Just before then is when I should have the transport planes built and ready. Even that upgraded one, and I got to figure out how many I need to build as well. That's why I'm building these first, attach them to this unit here. Currently, we have a 56 weight capacity or weight limit load that needs to get added on. So that's 6 transport planes total. I've got one, so I have to build 5 more. I'm not sure how much these are. I mean, I could probably figure out what the motorcycle uh, is. I don't know if any of these have a motorcycle. So far, no. Pretty sure one of these has got to have a motorcycle. Not coming to it. I'm not going to waste too much more time. That's an armored car. So, no. Do any of these guys? They definitely have engineers. That's it. No, they have mix support. Check my guy here. Pack artillery, anti-aircraft engineer. No. This is, yeah, that's they have light vehicles. So I don't think I have anybody with the motorcycle. Yeah, not even that infantry tank guy, which I need to do something with. I need to like kind of either beef up an existing unit like him. Yes, engineer and infantry tank. We don't need the horse support, of course. So that'll beef him up a little bit. So this guy and this guy, I can just throw him on the horse transport on there. There we go. Lose the division, but that was a weak division anyway. It strengthens up one of my light armor divisions a little bit more too, beefs them up. Anyway, I got to figure out what the weights are so that way I know how many transport planes I have to build come May 19th when I get the research. And like I said, I'll throw the other transport plane into the upgrade queue manually just to make sure it picks up that improvement, that range improvement. Again, reason we're going to be doing a drop on Palembang because that has a petroleum refinery. Strategic effect. The war, when I go to war with the UK, which I will let them declare on me rather than myself, though I may push the issue if like we're into April or even May. I might even wait that long. If they're still haven't declared on me, I may just go ahead and declare on them just to push the issue and get it going. 650-kilometer range puts us out to all the way up to here. Yeah, here. So on this line, we'll get this is Siam. We'll get Siam December 7th, shortly thereafter. We'll be able to push the issue, and they should say acquiesce and say, yeah, go ahead and throw units, take over, which we will do. I have two options. I can either once I have Siam start building an air base, which I think would be sufficient time. I think an air base takes about 3 months. I think I tested it, and that's about how long it takes. I mean, we can take a look and see right now. So April 14th, so March, April, so actually 2 months and a week is how long it'll take to build. So we take Siam. That'd be December 14th, January. That'd be February 14th. That the air base here would be ready, which that's all I need is just an air base, so I can then land my transport planes. So that way, load up my paratroopers and airdrop them onto. Wow, Palembang's further south than I thought. Load them onto and drop them onto Palembang. And if you see the overview, that little hidden, the unit hides when I zoom in, but if I kind of zoom out a little bit, we can kind of see where units are. That's just my spy masters, kind of feeding back information to us, which I got something to say on that too about America, but we'll get to that momentarily. Um, I either build an air base here, hope we don't go to war with the UK before February 14th, or we go to war, move in and take Kota Baru as quickly as possible, uh, and then fly my transport planes over. In either case, once the transport planes land, no matter where we're going, we've got like a week, maybe two, before they get back to full organizational strength. They got to be a full organizational strength or close to it, I think, before they're able to do an airdrop. So it could be a timing issue. I'm thinking it's just gonna be best to build the air base, cross fingers, and hope that we don't get attacked by, declared by the UK until well after February 14th. So I got, like say March, April, whatever. So I have time to get my transport planes over here, get the org up. So when we do declare, the ideal is have that air base fully orged out, declare war. We fly over, land on Palembang, and hopefully take it before the event happens, which it's within a month or a couple weeks, I think, after the UK declares on us. The Allies, the event says the Allies, the Dutch mainly, but British too, I suppose, burn the oil fields, and I believe it's Palembang. They say the oil fields, and if you look, there's a lot of different oil fields. I mean, there's oil fields here, oil fields here. There's oil fields here. There's Dutch East Indies, tons of oil fields all around, which I'm really, really salivating over and want. And oil fields here. So when they say oil fields, I think the event doesn't specify exactly which province is being affected, but I think it does mention the oil refinery, petroleum refinery. I think it does mention that. And that's the only, well, it's the only strategic effect, petroleum refinery in this area. There's other, I think Russia has one, and maybe Romania. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure Russia has one. Anyway, that's why I'm kind of stressed now to get my paratroopers done, because I think that's the best route I have to take Palembang. The other option would be to have my Marines set up here and then do an amphibious invasion on Sumatra. I don't think that's Sumatra. That might be Sumatra. I don't know. But anyway, on this province here, and take it, and then march south my Marines to Palembang and take that. The only problem with all that is distance-wise, for starters, we are talking. Let's see, that's the province here. We are coming down here. That's 676 kilometers. That is sufficient range for what I currently have with all you guys. Oh, okay, so all you guys need to come back here. And apparently all my liners decided to just do weird stuff. Yeah, let's go ahead and group you together. Yeah, I gotta do some tweaking here. It looks like we got, the computer AI just was doing some silly stuff. Just some really, really silly stuff. That's all right. Anyway, we've got, I got these long range. Where are they at? This one. They've got a range of 1,300 kilometers. That's good enough. I've got two of them, so I mean that could be sufficient. I got regulars, but they only have 600-kilometer range. And I've got one assault ship which can only carry one division, one Marine division, which that's fine. That's got 1,800 kilometers, so that's good. I am in the process of building some landing craft, which I think have around 1,200-kilometer range. Not air wing, flotilla. They 2,300 actually. Wow. Landing craft have 2,300 and the assault ship only has 18. Oh, because, yeah, landing craft go far. Assault ships just they're beefier. And I think assault ships also carry more. We can tell in just a moment here. They carry 90. Assault ships carry 120. So assault ships are beefier. They don't go as far as landing craft, but I think they're beefier in that they have a higher toughness, all that. They also carry more troops. Anyway, the upshot of all that is I could do the Marine landings, and that might be still a way to go. It's just I don't know when that will all be kicking off. It'll be very difficult. It'll be easier for me to redeploy paratroopers because they'll be flying in on their transports. And I could even, send a shuttle transport down with a fleet transport down with them as well, the paratroopers. The Marines would take a little bit longer to get to that point to where I need them at. And their travel time here would also take a little bit of a while. Paratroopers, they could land there within a day. The Marines would probably take a couple of days to come through here. Not a big deal, but also would have to allocate a task force to supply the Marines landing. But that may be something I might still do. As we get closer to the end of the year, my plans will better firm up. But right now I'm just making sure that I've got my transport planes, the paratrooper situation all figured out. On that too, I got 2, 4, 6. I've got 6 different. 7 and 8. I've got 8 different carrier groups currently right now. We are building and should have ready. This will be the 9th, 10th carrier group. Yeah, I'll have 10 carrier groups that are ready, which reminds me, I need to put more carrier groups into the list here, but I'm gonna wait till some of this stuff's built in the spring here in the next few months, and then I'll add more stuff towards the bottom. So we'll have 10 carrier groups total. The initial parts of the war will be attacking Wake Island, Guam, and the Philippines. I just need one carrier group for Guam. I think about 3 carrier groups for the Philippines is what I use, and then they usually have like 1 or 2 carrier groups protecting the. Are these the Caroline Islands? They're called. Whatever these islands are. I really need to beef up my knowledge of World War II Pacific theater history since I especially love playing as Japan. Anyway, we got a couple carrier groups there that we'll set up. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the other 4 get sent to Wake. Just there's usually not much in the way of any sort of American naval presence here that I've ever discovered. The AI likes to keep their cards pretty close to their chest, which is usually here at Hawaii. But pushing the 4 out there because Wake's, that's a big dangler. Here, I'll have air support. So if there's any naval ships here, they're going to have a tough time. I'm going to have enough planes down here to handle that. Not to mention bombers to be able to bomb Guam. So I only need 1 carrier group down here to help protect my landing force. But Wake, I need the bulk. When that's all said and done, I've got further phases like Midway, all the American islands here and here that I want to take. Hawaii is going to be a big one. The Aleutians chain is going to be a pretty big one. That's a lot of carrier groups. I'm only going to have 10 carrier groups for all that kind of stuff, all those different phases. But once I go to war with the UK, I'll need to allocate some carrier forces here. Maybe a third. I could probably do just 3. Uh, Down here in this area, maybe even 4. Might even need a good 40%. But that would mean here, if I do a marine landing, I will need a carrier group towing the line over here, making sure there's no bad actors in the area. That's a lot of talking to kind of plan out my future future events here. Speaking of our builds and stuff, we're building a lot of stuff. I got a lot of stuff in the queue as well. Several things are going to be finished up here real soon, within the next month or 2. And then we'll be working on even more stuff. You see, I got those tropical island garrisons. That's going to be Guam and Wake's garrisons. So that way I don't need to leave Marines to guard them or transport a full-on army division out there. I can just simply use these tropical island garrisons. I'm building more Marines as well. I have 10 currently. Got 5 more coming on the way. That'll be used for more of the island invasions next year. Several planes, a bunch of bombers, fighters for island support, and of course the convoys. Tech-wise, let's get into this real quick. There's a 2-engine transport situation. We don't need anything in diplomacy and espionage. We're okay. Actually, let's just beef it up a bit. That way, we need to start getting some spies up in there, just for help protect me more than anything else. I don't want the enemy doing anything to me. And pretty soon, America, who's got tons of leadership, and again, I'm going to be talking about them momentarily here. They've got tons of leadership. They got enough to throw into spies that they could run rampant all over me. Anyway, we're researching a ton of stuff at this point. We're working. You can see a quick spin through here, and you can pause as you need to. But quick spin through here, 90%. Maybe a bit less than that, maybe 80% of what we're researching is here in the naval forces. The previous leader that I had gave us a ton of research in these fields here, and looks like these as well. Um, Capital did the same thing as well too. You can see like the armor we're really good in. Uh, the propulsion um, and escorts. Same thing. Anything you see is like 1940 plus type tech. We didn't have to research. The AI or the leader that we had, minister, helped us do that. However, you can see our carrier tech. It is so woefully behind the times. It needs some life support. So that's what we're working on, is make sure our carrier tech gets beefed up now. On that note, we have our carrier specialists in here, and I think within the next month or two, maybe three, I think it's every quarter. Tibet, we need to do total exploitation. There we go. I think last episode it came up with the option, because I know I switched them over in January. I'm pretty sure I did. I think last episode or two it came up with the option to allocate funds towards him if we just want to keep things as they are, to put lower funds or put the most amount of funds we possibly can. We chose the most amount of funds we possibly can, which it'll hurt our income, but we're okay. The that will give us every quarter. He should be doing the same thing like the other guy did, but strictly for carrier tech. So not as many items will be getting points, but there'll be some things we're going to get like 40, 45 points instead of what we were getting before. Overall, all that we have here, I think, is pretty much what we need. I don't feel we need anything else at this point in time. The head of government, I think, we're going to be replacing pretty soon with this guy. But I say pretty soon. I'm probably going to just wait till about November for that 10% naval organization. That way, any ships, let's say they have 100 organization, it gives them about 10. That 10% just gets added on to that total bonus and modifier. So it may not be a one-to-one type of thing. But anyway, put him on there just so my ships get a little bit beefier. I won't really need his crude oil bonus. Not to mention, too, by that time, Finland should be in the war, and we'll have the core historical access level 3, which I think helps beef up our oil bonus there. Money, yeah, that 20% is going to hurt, but we'll need the naval more than anything else. And I think we've gotten everything here to where we really need to. You can see I need manpower. We're not using any per day, so we're getting 50 a month. We've got 10 months till war, so that's 500 more manpower roughly that we'll be getting. 550, let's say, 540 even. So that gets about to 800 manpower. We could bump it up a little bit here. The daily descent, that plus 1.5% probably would tick this over to where we need to put some IC into consumer goods. We also would take a high IC hit as well, just to gain a little bit extra trickle of manpower. We may do that if things start going rough. Fortunately, most of what Japan builds is sea power. However, I don't have on here the Mountaineers, and I'm going to be building about 10 Mountaineer divisions because I'll need them in India and Burma down the road. Yeah. But this future. Heavy industry emphasis. We need to get our unity up even more. We are going to go ahead for that when we're eligible to do so. Almost at 77. We need to hit 80. Or switch to communism. And cue the laughing men gif there. Yeah. We need to get our unity up to 80. That's going to take some events and things like that. Actually, that can also I can go in here in intelligence. Oh yeah, I'm already raising national unity. I don't think there's too much more I can do at this point unless I choose unless I get a particular leader that will help improve our unity. I mean, I think that's the best guy. I don't think there's anything else that does better than 5% national unity. Yeah, we don't want to lose unity. Thank you. I'm not seeing anything. And we want naval focus for Minister of Defense and Foreign Affairs. Really don't think there's anything we want to change here. Because, again, 5% national unity, there's nothing better. The apologetic clerk, no. Same modifiers for daily dissent. Actually, no, for national unity, but daily dissent does a little bit better. But I prefer to keep the ruling party support going. We're in the access accessibility access, not a big deal. I don't know. Apologetic clerk may actually be just fine because the daily dissent change of 5% would actually be very helpful. That's something I didn't even consider. I don't see anything else here that positively affects unity. This would be a good guy to have, though. That dissent hit would be kind of ugh. But the leadership modifier would be nice. But then again, we'd be giving up the national unity. Yeah, the apologetic clerk actually might be a good switch. The daily dissent going from 1 to 5% would help improve that a little bit more. So once I do switch, I'm able to switch over my industrial policy laws to what we need. That won't hurt us at all at that point. Same unity change. I don't care about the ruling party support or the susceptibility to access. We're already in the access right now. I don't care about the tendency to drift. We don't need to worry about that. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, we're going to change him. And I don't think we don't want this guy. I mean, so that's good, yes. But hit the land organization. I mean, you lose our IC bonus there. So yeah, I don't want to change him. So the land intel 20%. That's probably why when I zoom out enough, that's might be what's I'm able to see those units zoomed out a bit. That might be what that land intel is about. I think I'm switching to this guy come December though. Or at least a naval intelligence specialist, because I want that naval intel, not the land intel. And the naval base efficiency will be very, very helpful as well. We currently have a dismal enigma. Yeah, political specialist, nah. That's our only choices. And honestly, let's just switch right now because really the espionage counterintelligence bonuses kind of meh. We don't need the land intel quite so much as we really need the naval intel. I mean, land intel right now, our only land power they're fighting, we're at the doors of their capital in Xinjiang north of us. I know where the capital is, and I don't care what what forces they have. Plus, this guy would help boost up our party. I don't know if that improves. Does that improve unity that much more? See, their spies lowering my national unity. Even though our spies are raising it by 1.5, what's getting hit on us is only improving it by 1.47. That's why I really need my spies. Yeah, not seeing, but yeah, let's just go ahead and switch over because that negative 2.5% leadership modifier, it'll be nice just to gain a little bit more leadership at that point. And I don't think we're changing this guy. School defense, I think Tojo is a little bit better in that the organization regain rate boost up a bit more. We lose that 5% land organization. That also will improve our officer. Yeah, let's put Tojo in charge. Chief of the Army, decisive battle. I think, yes, that's better than static. Elastic would be the other one to use. I think, yeah, that's the only other options. Static, I don't want to use because that slows us down. We don't want to be slow. Elastic defense is better than decisive battle. Territorial pride, we don't care about. at this point. We might later. We might have to worry about getting invaded if things go poorly. And trust me, I'm not going to give up the game just because, oh knows, the Americans are knocking at Tokyo's door. I'm going to go to the bitter end and see see how it goes. Um, but the land organization's good, and the manpower modifier really good at this point. If we lose that 10%, I'm not sure how. I think our monthly gain would be around. Actually, I'm not sure where our monthly gain would be then. Um, but our combat speed, comparing decisive and this combat speed would be nice because we really need that. Defend reinforced, that's pretty good. If our units that ever get attacked, that's pretty good. Our, our artillery practical decay, I think I lost someone that had that bonus. That'd just be getting it back. Yeah, let's put in Tojo again for him. Which I think Tojo gets put in charge of this anyway, but down the road. But yeah, we'll do it early. Not touching this carrier projection. That's what we need at this point. And same with Yamamoto. He needs to be chief of the Air Force because he helps our CAGs out. All right. That takes care of that. Really nothing to do in intelligence per se. Though here's where I'm going to be touching upon America. I don't think it's going to show here, but when I was off camera, letting the AI kind of do its thing, because I was just testing it to see, I know at a certain point the 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 video like this one now can get kind of bogged down by a whole bunch of stuff going on, and we might only go through a few days worth of content in 45 minutes. And I know we're reaching at the end of this episode, so I apologize we haven't gone any further, but this is kind of like a stopping point for me, or to kind of a intermission to explain where we've been, where we're going, and things of that kind of nature, my thought process and all this. Plus, I wanted to at least detail what I learned. So when I switched over to the AI, for whatever reason, after some time went by, I was kind of like seeing how things were moving around and all that kind of stuff. I guess the spies were just starting to do really, really good things and helped figure out what was happening with the United States behind the scenes. I don't see it here because I've gone back in time, but back to where I'd left off last. But anyway, I can state that my spies have come back to report to me that the U.S. has over 1,800 IC. When I saw that, I was like, oh my goodness. They have over 6 times the amount of industry that I have. The good thing about that is, though, the United States got two fronts to worry about. They got the Atlantic and the Pacific. Atlantic, they got to worry about Germany and Italy. So they got to at least have some presence there in order to help out the UK and the Soviet Union. So if we split that IC in half, okay, that's 900 IC that I got to worry about. So that's about 3 times, nonetheless, what I've got. The only advantage I think up to this point so far, I saw in their production queue, they obviously had built a bunch of IC, and apparently that's all they've been building because they had 1,800 IC. Even though the AI gets a lot of benefits, a lot of bonuses and whatnot, they, for the most part, they're working towards getting ready for for future for when they go to war. In this case, America goes to war. So I know they had to spend the last 4 or 5 years of game time here just strictly building IC and associated resources to go with it, so they can make sure they can support that industrial output. So what I had noticed in the production queue, it was something on the lines of about how many? About 20. I think about 20 carriers with a good even mix of light and fleet carriers. So say like 10 fleet and 10 light carriers, something like that. They already had 8 carriers out in the waters as well, which again, you can look at my carriers. We've got far more. Even currently, what I've got floating at this point in time is 8 fleet carriers and 6 light carriers. I think with America, they've got a pretty good mix. I don't know if it's half and half. It might be like 5 fleet carriers and 3 light carriers to start off with. The vast majority, though, were over on the Atlantic. Two were stationed in Hawaii. So that made me feel a bit better in that at least I know once war starts, and these carriers that they're building, the 20 they're building, aren't going to be ready until early 1942 soonest, and it's strictly like some of the light carriers, and deep into 1943 for the vast majority of like the fleet carriers. So that may feel a little better in that at least I'll have better odds on them. Even though I got to split my carriers up into different places, I can't focus all of them into one combat zone. At the very least, I still will be outnumbering any carriers that the Americans may decide to push up here. So the United States building lots of stuff, and mid to late 1942 and into 1943 especially, ton of stuff is coming out. So whatever I do out here, namely on their islands and up to in the Aleutians and up to Alaska, I need to make sure I get going and complete in by say mid 1942, even summer 1942. I got to have all the American islands and the Aleutians and pushing up into Alaska. I don't know if that'll mean we'll be attacking America, but to ensure that I'm not threatened, I would certainly need the American West Coast and the Panama Canal shut down. Whether or not I would be able to take Panama would be a different story. I don't think that's enough range. Yeah, if I were to land here, the closest I could get to would be probably this island. Yeah, that's 3,800 kilometers away. Even Hawaii, that's 3,800 kilometers. I would need even these French islands out here, which I don't think I could even do anything with. They're just under 3,000 kilometers. This is Ecuador. Nah. So I wouldn't be able to invade Panama successfully. I don't think I would be able to. Wouldn't have the length to do so. I would have to certainly get the West Coast. No, even then, I'd have to declare on, say, Mexico, and start taking places there to be able to take Panama, all with the intent of making sure that all this is shut down. So the only way America could have any hope of doing anything is shipping all the way around that's not Cape Horn, but around the Argentinian, Chilean coast here. And even then, that wouldn't mean much. They'd have to try to figure some place to stage. So scary seeing the American industrial might in its full glory, knowing what's coming in late 1942, early 1943, but securing the knowledge at least I'll have a good run for the initial first 6 months, if not more, of the campaign going on. And it's just also worrying about all this here as well too. But that's future stuff. When I come back next episode, I appreciate you guys listening to all my rambling here with what we're doing in my Japanese campaign. When we come back, we will continue our attack on Tibet, hopefully complete it in the month of February. Attack on Xinjiang, keep that pressure going all the way through December, and just keep doing our builds over and over again. I do appreciate you guys watching, listening to everything I had to say. If you have any comments, please feel free to provide them. Just know, though, that I typically post these many, many, many days, if not weeks, after I've already completed played the episode. So if you're telling me, Tom, you need to change something before you play your next episode, well, it'll be too late. But at least it'll be something that I'll be able to take with me to my next Japanese campaign. Thank you guys for watching, listening. Hope you guys have a great day.